So for the next set of exercises, we're going to be using a wall. So you're going to need a couple of blocks, a bit of wall space. I'm just using this ledge here. And if you've got sensitive knees, you might want a blanket to put underneath them. So I'm going to start with my right leg forward and my left leg backwards. So I'm coming into a lunge. We're going to hold each of these exercises for about 30 seconds. So I'm just coming to sit backwards towards my left heel. And I want to keep my right knee directly over my right ankle. My ribs are in, so here I'm stretching more into my quad. I want my back to be straight and I should feel it through the front of my leg. So just finding this chilling position here. We'll hold this for about another 15 seconds. But if you want to hold these poses for longer, you can hold them for a little bit longer. So again, just pause the video, hold them, like get into them a little bit deeper. I'm just doing this for about another 5 seconds. Can feel my left quad definitely working. And then I'm going to keep my heel towards my bum, but I'm going to straighten out my front leg, keeping my toes in line with my hip. And again, I'm just going to chill out here, like I'm just relaxing in the sun, which I kind of am. Like it feels pretty warm and pretty nice in here. So I'm just sitting back towards this hill and holding it. Just closing my eyes, taking my focus back to my breathing, making sure still nice and controlled, and just noticing any places where the breath feels stuck in the body and just trying to breathe into them. Nice. I'm then going to come more into a lunge. So stacking the right knee on top of the right ankle. And here I'm starting to stretch out my left hip flexor, so I'm going into hip extension on that left hip. To begin with, I'm just holding it like this for about 30 seconds. Maybe you can walk your arms up and just rest them on the knee, but you should feel a stretch going through the front of the left hip. So about 15 more seconds here. You can always check in with your back foot, making sure it's facing that same side shoulder. Okay, then for the next 30 seconds, I'm going to take my arms up and making a box with my elbows, and I'm trying to shut my foot in that box. So you don't want the elbows to come out wide when you're doing this. You want the armpits to wrap in. I'm reaching backwards, and if I can reach that left foot, I'm trying to frame the foot with my elbows and hold it in, squeezing the elbows in towards one another. It's a little bit difficult to talk here, but again, I'm just holding this about 30 seconds. And then bringing myself back up. So final thing that we're going to do here is we're going to turn it more into a split shape. So again, with the back knee bent and in alignment, so with the left foot facing the left shoulder, you might not get all the way down, doesn't particularly matter, but I just want you to slide a little bit and then just check that your toes are still facing your shoulder. So sliding a little bit, check. Maybe walking the blocks down onto a medium height. Again, always checking back in, seeing what's going on, maybe a low height in your body. And it might not be your deepest splits, but again, I just want you to think more of trying to square the hips off when you're doing this. Just about 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then slowly slide yourself out of it, and we'll do all of that on the other side. So now I'm going to go right shin against the wall, left leg forward. I'm always happy when I get onto this side, just because for me, it's a little bit easier. So I always kind of think, get out of the way what you don't like first. So I'm coming up, sitting backwards towards that right heel. And I should feel a stretch going through the right side of my quad. Again, just closing my eyes, trying to find a sense of relaxation, a sense of ease in the unease. And it's one of the kind of reasons I really like the physical practice, is it gets you to dance with your physical edge. And I always find when you find that place where something's challenging you, but it's still within your realms of possibility, it just kind of takes you out of your head and just into this zone where you're really present. And it's one of the reasons I love practicing so much. So straightening out your left leg, again, sitting back towards the heel and it's one of the reasons I like to mix my movement up, as I kind of feel like if you repeat the same things, yes, there is some benefit in that, and I do repeat a lot of drills, but kind of when I play with new things that challenge me, like box splits, which really challenges me, that are out of my comfort zone, again, it's getting me to dance with my edge, and it's helping me to switch off and just find that state of total presence, the flow state. So now I'm going to bend my left leg. So I'm stretching out the front of my right hip this time. So I'm going into hip extension, and again, you may want to use the blocks, or you may be able to take your hands up onto the left thigh and balance it here. Just noticing the difference between both sides. I know for me, this side always feels a lot more easy, which is why I should always practice on my weaker side more. So again, we're just going to hold this for about another 10 seconds. Just breathing into any discomfort. So once you've held your lunge for about 30 seconds, we're then going to take the arms backwards. So again, I'm lifting my arms up, trying to keep my elbows together so my biceps by my ears, I'm not drifting off to the side. And then I'm reaching backwards, seeing if I can frame that right foot. And if I can, I'm drawing my elbows in towards one another. Again, I'm holding this about 30 seconds. About another 10. And again, if you want to hold that for a little bit longer, you can hold it a little bit longer. Final thing I'm doing on this side. So again, I'm sliding out into my splits, but I always want to make sure that back heel is facing towards the same side shoulder. So my right foot is pointing towards my right shoulder. I slide down a little bit, check in a little bit. Slide down a little bit, check in a little bit. If it's okay, I can start to move my blocks down lower. But again, all the time, I want to make sure I'm not compensating by letting my right leg turn out to the side. Again, I'm just going to hold here for about another 10 seconds. Feels so wonderful. And then release it out, shake it out, and we'll come back to the center